Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. In the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman. I am only aged 23 years old and I came to South Africa when I was 20 years old, and there are things that I did. Me and my best friend Melisa, who was already staying here in South Africa, she was the one that brought me into South Africa. We slept with a snake that belongs to a Nigerian blesser that we met at this other party, and this Nigerian blesser, the money that he gave to us, it was 500K. And me and my friend Melisa, we then divided this money in half because we really wanted that cash. If it was not for Melisa, we could have never gone to that party. But she was the one that told me that if we go to the party, we will end up meeting more blessers, like the way that she met her blesser when she was taken by this other South African girl who went with her to Durban July, and then she met her blesser who rents out an apartment for her, and he is quite an old man that she is dating. So there are things that I am experiencing because of us sleeping with that snake. First of all, we were told that we will never be able to have children ever again, which is affecting me mentally quite a lot. And as for Melisa, she has already lost her relationship that she had with this other guy who is an American. He's a pilot. He once came to South Africa, and their plan was that if Melisa was going to fall pregnant, and then it will be easy for her to migrate to America. And Melisa is always crying because of that, because it was her dream to leave South Africa to migrate to America so that she can start all over again. My story, it started when I was still in Zim. I was just working, and this was after we had finished college, me and Melisa. Life was just difficult. Melisa then said that she wanted to migrate to South Africa. My parents did not want me to come to South Africa because my father once came and he worked here in South Africa. So he was like, I don't want my child to go to South Africa because I'm scared that she will end up doing things that I don't like there because she would be desperate. It is better that we send her back to college and then we can see how we can help her in life. So when Melisa came to South Africa, she then told me that she was working as a maid. She spent about a year without visiting home again, and when she came, she told me that she wanted to apply for a passport because she did not have a passport by then. And she told me that she had made enough money and she could even pay for the passport for me as well. And I then spoke with my parents, and my parents, they refused, and they said that we don't know what kind of a job that Melisa is doing. Fast forward, she returned to South Africa. She continued working. Then she came back. By then, she told my parents that she was working at this other complex and she was a stay-in maid, and she was not even allowed by the people that she was working for to even leave the yard. They did not even allow her to do anything but to stay indoors at all the times. So when my parents heard that this was what Melisa had been doing, and she was working really well, and where she was working, the couple that she was working for, they always made sure that she was indoors at all the times because of her age, and they did not want her to go wild. My parents, they were so happy. My parents then said that we can now allow you to go and work in South Africa if Melisa has given us a guarantee that you are going to be working with him and you will be staying at the same complex where she is staying. That is when my parents agreed. After my parents had agreed, that was when my mom told me that they had some money that they had saved with the little cash that I had. I then went to the passport offices. Then I applied for a passport. When the passport came out, Melisa then sent me some money for the bus fare, and I migrated from Zim and I came to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, I saw that Melisa, she was staying in a very nice gated complex and everything was so nice. She told me that she was dating this old South African man who was a rich businessman that would regularly come and be with her, but I never saw Melisa going to work. I asked her what kind of a job she was doing. She laughed at me and she said, "You think that I was going to tell you the truth that I don't go to work? I don't want my parents to know that in South Africa I'm not going to work, but I have a blesser that is taking care of me." I then said, "What am I going to do? Because my parents, they expect me to send some money." Melisa then spoke with her blesser and the blesser agreed. So the agreement that they had was that the blesser, he was going to give me money like allowance since I was like Melisa's little sister each and every month, so that my parents won't find out that this was what Melisa was doing. In the meantime, she promised me that I was going to get a job anytime soon. So my parents, they were excited. Each and every month I would send them some money and my parents, they were really happy about that. So Melisa had her own bedroom. We used to sleep in the same bed, but she had her own bedroom, which she would regularly go in there during the day. She would spend hours and hours. She would be in her office saying that she is doing some work that I did not even know what kind of work that she was doing in there, and she had told me that she does not want me to enter into that room. So I did not know what kind of a job that she was doing. I thought that maybe it was something that was really important. So after she would have spent hours and hours being in her office, when she would come out, she would say, "Let us go to the mall so that we can withdraw some cash." She will be having many messages from different numbers of people that would have sent her some e-wallets. So we would move from one ATM to another, FNB to Capitec to Standard Bank, just collecting money, the e-wallets that she had gotten from different people. I never asked her, but she was making a lot of money that we were collecting by the day. And she had even managed to buy herself a car because of the money that she was getting. At that time, I did not know that it was a followers that was sending her all of that money. Then there was one day I was feeling really tired. Then she told me that she was going to work in her office. I then said, "Okay, it's fine. Let me rest then." So as I was resting, that was when Melisa then started working, and afterwards she came to the bedroom where I was sleeping. She saw that I was fast asleep and she did not want to wake me up, and then she went to the mall to collect her cash on her own. So when she got into the car, I just heard that she was in the car and I woke up, and by the time that I reached the front door, she had already pulled out of the complex, and I tried to call her and her phone was going straight to voicemail because it was on silent. I kept on calling and she did not see that I was trying to call her. When I went back indoors just to relax, that was when I saw that the door to that forbidden room, it was open, and I said, "Okay, today I want to see what kind of a job does Melisa do. Today her office is open." And I knew that she was going to take some time before she would have returned back home. So I got into the office. To my surprise, Brother Nashi, when I got into Melisa's office, I expected to see an office desk, an office chair, and some other things like in a normal office. But what I saw two laptops and some mobile phones. She had some iPhones that were on ring lights, phones that I did not even know that she had. And even the laptops, the way that they were put up, it's like they were taking some videos, and there was a bed, and this bed, it was surrounded by the iPhones as well as the laptops, and I saw all sex toys of different kinds. And I waited for her to come back, and I said, "Melisa, what is that? What is going on in your bedroom? What do you do really in your bedroom? She then laughed and she was embarrassed. Then she told me that she has her own way of making money. I then said, how are you making money really? She told me that she makes money on Strip Chat and she makes money on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And I said, how are you making that money? She then told me that there are men out there that pay her so that she can be naked in front of them. And she told me that she wears a mask because I saw that there were plenty of masks that were in that room, like your Halloween mask. And she told me that since she does not want people to see her, to recognize her, that is why she wear all of those masks. She then took her phone and she went on her TikTok. She then logged out of the TikTok account that I knew and she switched the account to another account that I did not even know. I saw that this account, like, she is like a South African, even the name that she uses, and people, they just think that she's a South African girl, and she do twerk videos on TikTok and she has a lot of followers. She then went to her inbox and she started to show me plenty of messages from men that just wanted to be with Melisa, and then she would explain everything to them. She would tell them that it is not about love. All that she wants is to please the men over the phone. And she told me that these men, then they will send some money to her so that they can enjoy. And I was like, wow, so you're making money. She then said that she wanted me to do the same. I was scared and I said I'm too embarrassed and too shy to do that, even though I am a really good dancer. She then said, let us go to this other toy shop. We went there and we bought a Halloween mask, and she said, this is what you're going to be using. And I then put it on and she taught me how to dance in a seductive way so that I can get followers. In my original account, the people that were following me on TikTok, they were only my relatives and friends from school, no one else, because I really did not have content that I was posting except for my pictures there. And then Melisa told me that I was supposed to create another account. I then picked up a Kenyan name. Most of the people, they think that I am from Kenya. They don't even know that I'm a Zimbabwean. So we did this so that people will never suspect that these girls, they are Zimbabwean, because we are scared that our relatives will end up finding out, even the people that we know. So I chose a nice Kenyan name and then I created my TikTok account. The first videos that I posted them on my account, but those videos we posted again on Melisa's TikTok account because she was trying to promote my TikTok page, and men, they started to follow me. One day I woke up and I saw that I had followers, thousands and thousands. So you can imagine that I have about 40k, even more than 40k. Then I put a seductive video, a short one, just dancing and moving my waist. Men will start to come to my inbox and then I'll give them a package. If you want a nude photo, this is how much you're going to give me. If you want a video, this is how much you're going to give me. If you want a call, this is how much you're going to give me. I thought that men will not come, but they started coming in their numbers. I want to be with you, this and that. And I started making money, making 700 Rand each and every day, which was quite a lot. So I started to take care of my parents with the money that I was making. I could not even complain. Fast forward, that was when one day Melisa told me that there was this other Nigerian guy that had spoken with her on Instagram. And I said, what about this Nigerian guy? And then she told me that the Nigerian guy is saying that there is a party, an all-white party that is going to be done at 4 ways, and this Nigerian guy wanted 2 women that would accompany him to that party. And I said, I'm scared. I want to go to parties with Nigerians. We are making money, are we not? Besides, this man, the money that he wanted to give us, it was nothing compared to the money that we were getting, almost doing nothing, just showing men your naked body, not your face. So then Melisa told me that if I wanted a rich blesser, this was the only way that I could be able to get a rich blesser. And she told me that this was the same way that she had gotten her blesser when she went to Durban, July, and she made made some connections there. So I said, okay, it's fine. The first time we went out on a date, it was me, Melisa, and that Nigerian guy. We wanted to see if he was not a thief or not, and we met him. He took us on a dinner date. He spoiled us, me and Melisa, and we returned back home. We then met and we went to that all-white party. Like, there were only Nigerians, but with women, South African, Zimbabwean women that were accompanying their blessers. It was a nice thing throughout the night. We drank alcohol, we enjoyed, we partied hard, we forgot about everything else. The next morning, he then said, it is time, girls, for you and me to go to my place. We got into the vehicle. He drove us to his house, a very big double-storied house, and we made love to our blesser. And then he said that he wanted to give us our money so that we can be able to go back home. So he gave us money. And then that was when they started to talk, Melisa and the Nigerian blesser. I was already waiting for them in the car. Then Melisa came running and she was like, yo, Chomi, now we are going to make money. And I said, what do you mean we are going to make money? She then said, Chomi, this Nigerian guy is something that he wants us to do for him. And I said, something like what? Tell me. And then she said, come, let us go. This guy is saying that he wants to give us 500K. He is a snake that he wants us to sleep with the snake. I was scared and I said, I can't do that. And she said, come on, do not disappoint me. Let us do this. This man has 500K that he wants to give to us. So I ended up agreeing, Brother Nashi. I agreed and we went indoors and we spoke with that Nigerian guy. The Nigerian guy then said, you see all of this cash, it is not fake money. If you think that it is fake money, let us go out. We went out shopping. We ended up using 18K. We returned back home and then he gave us a clay pot, and there was beans that was in there. It was dried beans, and then there were some pills that we were told to drink. After drinking, I felt that there was blood that was coming out of my private part, and then the Nigerian guy then said, let us go upstairs. He then told us to strip ourselves naked and to sleep on the bed, and then he said, go to sleep. He said that, and I started to drift away. Me and Melisa, we fell fast asleep, and in my dreams I saw a snake that opened the door, and the snake was a cobra, and then it climbed onto the bed. Then it started to lick Melisa's private part that was full of blood. After it was done, it came to me, and then it started to lick me. It started to lick my private part as well. And then I woke up, which meant that when we were sleeping with this snake, this happened throughout the day because we woke up really late. And then the guy gave us money the next day. That was when he released us. He took us to our place where we were staying, and he said that if you think that it is fake money, you can try it out. We used 1,000 rands at that time, and we saw that the money was original. And me and Melisa, we split the money in half. I then spoke with my brother as well as speaking with my sister. They came and I told them that I was scared to move with the money on my own, so we divided the money, and Melisa and we went back home. I was able to buy a residential stand, and I'm busy building as I am speaking right now, but no one knows that this is what me and Melisa did. So later on, when Melisa's boyfriend came from America, they tried for a baby, but it did not work out. The guy ended up finding out that Melisa can't conceive, and we went to a Sangoma who told us that when we were sleeping with that snake was busy harvesting our wombs. Therefore, we will never be able to give birth in our lives. This is my own confession. When you post, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. I'm still on strip chat, and I always ask myself, I will be stripping until when? I see other elderly women that do the same thing that I am doing. I ask myself, so am I going to reach that age whilst I'm doing these strip shows for men whom I don't even know, so as to please them? When you post, please tell me. I just need advice. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Yeah, ne. Do you know such websites like strip chat, as well as women that are selling their bodies on TikTok? Have you ever come across such women, or you are also doing the same? You can come to my inbox and you can share with me your own side of the story.